Coach said that this isn't the most talented team he's ever had here, but it's the best team he's ever had.
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, yeah, I was referring to that, just the senior leadership that, our team provides for, all the lower classes. And just going through this time of uncertainty with COVID and whatnot, and just, staying on the correct path and keeping everyone engaged, encouraging everyone, wanting to play, wanting to keep going further, with not knowing who we may play or where we may play or if we may play.
And I know you guys probably don't think about getting to 10 wins again, but has that ever brought up? And this would be the third 10-win season in 4 years, 5 years, whatever.
Yeah. So Coach Monken's been making it known to us. He's really trying to encourage us to get it. No, for the team, of course, and just to have a really good season, but also really putting pressure on us just to because we are the most winningest class, and just add another win on would just be a legacy that the seniors could leave here.
Did you foresee this before you arrived at West Point?
So this summer, or like my first?
No, when you were a freshman, did you
No.
foresee this?
No, I did not at all. No.
What did you foresee?
Really, just playing football at West Point and everything being fine. No, nothing, no COVID, no nothing. Just a regular football season. With fans and tailgates and whatnot. Not none of this.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, quick question from Memphis here. What has the bowl prep been like for you guys, and what does it mean to be playing in the Autos and Liberty Bowl? And the follow-up question to that is there any talk to doing something with St. Jude virtually?
So it's really an honor just to have a bowl, of course, just because a lot got canceled. Our initial bowl got canceled, and we're very fortunate that West Virginia is willing to play us, or just playing the bowl in general. Because, like I say, COVID. We talk about football a lot, but COVID is still a really deadly virus that's out there, and at the time, both teams are still putting their lives on the line at just to play the game and whatnot. But the Liberty Bowl, I think it's going to be great. I've never been to a Liberty Bowl, so I'm really looking forward to it. And what was the other question? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Have there been any talk of maybe doing something virtually with St. Jude Children's Hospital here? I know normally in the past there's been a lot of things with St. Jude, but with COVID, everything's kind of changed. Yeah.
So as of now, we haven't had any talk about it. But what we usually do, we'll usually go by a nearby VA hospital, and we'll visit them and give them shirts or whatever. But I'm sure for COVID reasons, we're not going to do that. So.
Hey, Sandon, how's it going, man?
Going great.
Hey, can you talk to me personally about what it's like to finish your career in a bowl game and just, I know it's been the last week has been a little bit up and down, and now it's definitely, full speed ahead with preparation for West Virginia. What's it been like? What's it going to be like for you to finish your career in a bowl game?
Honestly, I was thinking about that today, and I think it's gonna suck in a good way, just because it's gonna be my last game. Playing, as a Army Black Knight, and I think it's just gonna hit me at all one time. Win or lose, I probably will cry after this game, just because I will no longer be able to play college football. So.
The effort, I guess you guys are back at practice now preparing for West Virginia. What kind of effort do you expect from this team, considering that, it's been now it'll be some time before you took the field last against Air Force. What kind of effort do you expect from your teammates?
110% effort. That's all we really harp on, effort and attitude. So I don't think anyone's going to give less than 110 effort, because, at the end of the day, we're not my strength coach said this today. We're not going to a bowl game to play. We're going to try and win. So we still have it's still the same routine on practice schedule and whatnot.
Appreciate it.
Sandon, they would just ask you, the last time Army played a Big 12 team, you were out at Oklahoma, you took them into overtime. Is there anything you take away from that experience that can help you with playing another Big 12 team in West Virginia?
Yes, finish. Finishing. Big 10 and Big 12. When we lost to Michigan last year, this team needs to finish. And I think we need to harp on that too this week. Because, I mean, it always happens. It always happens. So we just need to finish.
Hey, one more question for me. When you leave Army, what do you want your legacy to be?
Honestly, I just want people to look back and think of me as, wow, I would love to follow in his footsteps. And that's really it. Just speak of nicely things about me. And honestly, I really don't care about the stats or whatever. Just to know that I made an impact on the program and whatnot.
Sandon, one question from the outside here a little bit. With all of the challenges, commitments, everything that you have to go through as a member at Army West Point, why add football on top of it?
I like to think that without football, I wouldn't be able to do it. You know what? It keeps me busy, and I don't think without football I would be here. I think football definitely is the reason that's kept me here, and my driving force.
Sandon, maybe a final question. West Virginia, a team that's got some NFL prospects on their defensive line, especially Darius Stills, we heard speak yesterday. What is the key for you just to get the running game going in playing them?
Just nothing has changed. It doesn't really matter who we play against. Green Bay Packers or Air Force. We're gonna do what we do best and try to run the ball, and hopefully they can stop the run. If not, then we'll be successful.
Many thanks.
All right. So thanks, Sandon. Yep.
Thanks, Sandon.
Good luck, Shannon.
Thanks, Sandon.
Mike, how are you?
All right.
Hey, how we doing?
Right.
We got Mike Johnson, offensive lineman.
Okay.
Mike, maybe just could lead off by asking you what was the last week like for you, and getting a Christmas break. What was that? What was that like for you and your teammates?
So I think the week started off with even amid a COVID and a global pandemic, it even got more uncertain when it came to the bowl game. So it was kind of a roller coaster of things changing, different situations, what we were hearing about how it could go. And then luckily things fell through in our favor, which we're very grateful for, and excited to participate in the Liberty Bowl. But that also, like you said, came with some time with the family after we've been here since our arrival on June 1st as a team. So I think it was a great recharge for a lot of guys to see their family who they haven't seen in a long time. And they came back later last night and came today ready to work and ready for practice.
Mike, maybe just ask you, what, as a leader of the team, as a captain, what was it like to keep the team positive? You said that you've been at West Point since June, through this very long stretch of a year without being able to visit family until Christmas. What was it like for you to be a leader, trying to keep your team encouraged and positive?
Yeah, so I think what me, Sandon, Amadeo, and all the other seniors did, and all the other leaders on the team, was just try and emphasize enjoying the little things, Winning's fun here. Winning's fun regardless of what sport you play and at what level. So if we just try to kind of focus on our given tasks on that day, that would prepare us for those games each week. And walking away from Mikey Stadium or wherever with the W was always fun. That made things fun. But it also came into things like little ideas like just small like video game tournaments or something like that, where we can just kind of not think about West Point for a little bit and kind of get a chance to decompress, even though what we could do is really limited.
Thank you.
Hey, what does playing in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl mean to you guys? I know the first bowl game was snubbed a little bit with the cancellation of that bowl game, but what does playing in this bowl game mean to you guys?
Well, first and foremost, just grateful that even despite how south things went with the Independence Bowl, unfortunately, that we're given the opportunity to play. So that's probably the biggest thing, is just we're grateful. But also, too, the Liberty Bowl is a great bowl. There's been many great teams, many quality programs who played in it, and to have that spot in there as well is just something that we can kind of pride ourselves in and use to motivate us through the preparation for this week.
Mike, Coach Monken said that this isn't the most talented team he's ever had, but it's the best team he's had at West Point. What does he mean by that?
I think it kind of just comes down to our three core fundamentals and kind of characteristics that we really see as almost most important for our culture, and that's trust, commitment, and love. I think with this team, you see that to the highest extent. You see guys who care about each other, who trust each other unconditionally, and who just completely are just committed to whatever it takes, whatever they need to do, whatever role they need to do to win. So I think there's also a higher kind of degree of responsibility and higher degree of accountability amongst the team. And every single upperclassman does a great job of leading their position room. And they just do a great job motivating. They do a great job keeping guys accountable. And those little things day to day turn into great successes.
Thanks, Mike.
Hey, you mentioned video game tournaments. Has there been anything else for the bowl week? I know, bowl week normally is go down to the city, hang out in the city, have a lot of fun. What have you guys done to get ready for the AutoZone Liberty Bowl? Not on the field, but, fun-wise.
Yeah, so like the video game tournaments, obviously, like I said, we've had a dinner too, which was really cool. And then I think there might be some stuff still in the works. I'm not really entirely sure thus far, but those are the two big things we've kind of hit, because like you said, like bowl game weeks, there's always events every day once you get down there 4 or 5 days before game time. But I think we're doing a great job with making do what we can do given COVID and everything. So right now, just those two things, and I'm sure something else will come up here in a day or so.
Hey, Mike, have you had time to reflect on your kind of journey to at West Point from your freshman year to now, and now you're a senior playing in a bowl game, and the work it's taken to get to this point, especially, physically to get to this point and play your senior year pretty much almost every snap?
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely some low points in my career where I got kind of nicked up, with an injury here or there. But I was very fortunate and very happy and also humbled to be able to get some playing time my freshman year and get to experience college football right off the gate, which was awesome. And then kind of coming off a low when I got hurt my sophomore year, and then just trying to kind of inch my way back and take things almost one thing at a time to really just not focus on the big picture, but just focus on the process over these last 2 years. And to see some of that come to fruition this season is awesome. It's always great to see hard work pay off, but it's been a long journey, and honestly, I wouldn't change a thing, though.
Is there anything different about being an officer playing in a bowl game or playing in an Air Force game? I mean, do you get a little bit of rubbing from the mob or your teammates about that, or no?
So I'll graduate in like a few weeks here. I'm not just a lieutenant just yet, like Amadeo, but it's pretty close. But sometimes, a couple jokes here and there about the old man playing in the CIC games. So just little stuff like that, nothing crazy.
Appreciate it, man.
Like, what's it feel like to be a member of the class that's won the most games at West Point, and you're on the verge of another 10-win season?
It's just, I mean, it's like when you kind of think about it, like when you just said it, I didn't even really realize it, because you put a lot into it. You put a ton of work into it every day, and it's been a whole long process over the years. And just to kind of do that with my friends and this brotherhood and everything like that, it's completely awesome. It's something special. It's something I'll always remember. And to be the class with the most wins just also kind of adds on to that special nature of the bond we have in the senior class right now, as well as the legacy we'll leave behind.
You expect that legacy to continue, I assume, right?
Yes, sir, of course.
Thanks.
Question about your blocking and the physical toll that can take on you. I mean, you guys with your cuts and rolls, all those different things, is that harder than just, standard 2-point, dropping back in pass pro, firing out? Do you find yourself, even more beat up after a season of that?
I think you get a little more beat up than doing the 2-point stuff. But the thing with what we do and the 2-point stuff is they're each hard in their own way. One's not easier or harder than the next. It's just, I would say ours is a little more high velocity coming off the ball, so you might get subject to get a little nicked up, I guess, a little easier. But those 2-point guys, you got to be a big, strong dude, wide base, and just overall strong inside with the hands. So I think each form of blocking or form of offensive blocking is just hard in its own way.
Thanks.
And Mike,
one more question. Oh, go ahead.
Mike, I was just going to ask you about what you've seen in the West Virginia defense so far. They've got an NFL prospect in Darius Stills and his brother Dante Stills. What have you seen in the West Virginia defense so far?
So they're an incredibly athletic team, and they've proven and talented team, like you said, 2 NFL prospects. Personally, I haven't watched any film yet on them, but I know that they've had great successes in the past, and they've obviously had great careers thus far. But we just know that we need to, as a team, at least as an offensive line, to do what we do best and to basically what we can fundamentally do, what we can control with, things like pad level or technical skills. We need to do that to be successful because those guys are great players.
Hey, it's supposed to rain on Thursday. Looking at the weather, how would that impact you guys, especially with the triple option? Do you guys play better in that? We saw in the Navy game, you guys played really well in the fog. Do you guys play better in the elements?
Well, we practice in the elements. We're rarely in the indoor. Honestly, we're only on the indoor if it's kind of like a requirement, I guess, if it's too cold or whatever, or if there's lightning. But I mean, personally, I love playing in the snow and the rain. I think it kind of adds a little bit of like gritty nature to it, I guess. So I kind of find more fun in it. But knowing that it's going to rain, it just kind of, I guess, adds that atmosphere in a little bit of a sense. I can't speak for the ball carriers. Obviously, I'm not carrying the ball. So when it gets slippery like that, I'm not sure if it makes it harder or whatever the case is for them. But I know for me, I love playing in heavy rain, heavy snow, drizzle, whatever.
Mike,
what's it been like to be a mentor of this offense? One of the older players on this offensive line, and a mentor, a young guy like Jordan Law, play beside him in that Air Force game, and talk about his potential a little bit.
Yeah, so I've been here a good while, so I've seen a lot of guys do things right and a lot of guys do things wrong, and I've seen a lot of guys have great successes too and have incredible careers. I'm talking on the offensive line too. And to see a guy like Jordan Law come in and be so productive as a freshman and be so open to criticism and still have room for his own body growth and his own strength and his speed, yet still play as good as he does, I think he has incredible potential to be a great player. He's proved to have great plays and had great games this year thus far. Hopefully I can give him a bit of 2 cents on what could help him, just based on my own experience and what I've seen. But I think he's going to be a great player just because there's so much more room for growth. But he's still been playing really good this season as a freshman.
Mike, one more question. Coach Munkin's relationship with his dad seems pretty special. Does that have an effect on the team?
Could you say that one more time? Sorry, sir.
Coach Munkin's relationship with his dad's there for every game. Does that rub off on you guys, that kind of relationship, and make your team better?
Yeah, just you see how much he cares about his dad and what a great relationship they have. So when he talks about the the care and the trust and the love he has for us, it just makes it seem it's more real. It's a true bond between us and Coach Monk, and it's a true brotherhood.